Hey there, everyone. Greg Marchand here. Just a really super quick demo. I'll try to keep it quick on the dashboard virtual coaching tool that we are announcing this year in 2020 to help shops grow their gross profit and expand the business in ways that they've always wished. And we can now do this with a minimum investment on the shop's part. Let me show you real quick what you can expect. We'll get more in depth in this later on. As a user, you would just log in. I'm going to log in here as a shop owner. And you see the first screen is what I call the goal dashboard. These are goals that we created, okay? If you come over here to goal setting advanced, we can create a, we'll call it a January week 2 goal. And I encourage you to set a weekly goal, a monthly goal, and a yearly goal, because your weekly goals add up to your monthly goals. And this tool allows you to project and see how you're going to come out at the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year. So instead of the historic data that we have now, we're always looking back, right? I mean, even if we call it a real-time dashboard, well, yes, it's real-time as of this moment in time, but really the reality is it's looking backwards. Right? It's money we've already collected, it's repair orders we've already written, etc. We want to look forward and say, look, if we continue on this path, are we going to hit our goal for Friday? Are we going to hit our goal for the end of the month? Are we going to hit our overall goal at the end of the year? And so this tool uses projections so that we can see where we're likely to end up and make changes along the way based on what we're currently doing, okay? So that we don't get to the end of the week or the end of the month and go, dang it, man, we missed it. We got to do better next month. Because folks, I hate to tell you, it's like selling used cars. If you missed your used car number this month and you say, we'll make up that 5 cars next month, well, dude, if you didn't make it last month, you're not going to make it up next month, and you're just going to get further and further and further behind. So this tool keeps you from getting behind. It steps out in front and says, all right, look, if you just stay right here in your lane doing what you're doing, here's where you're going to end up. Okay, so we grab a historical date range, and I'll just grab one from October. I'll grab a week in October since we're doing a weekly goal, and we're gonna set this goal for next week. I'm videoing this on I don't know what today is, the 16th, I guess. So we're open 5 days. You can see the daily gross profit that we'll need to accomplish based on that historical date range, and we're actually behind where we maybe want to be. Let's bump our sold hours per RO goal up to 2. So that, yeah, you know what, we stand a better chance of making that. We've got to get a little over $2,000 a day in gross profit. And you can also see down here that Corey in that historical date range, he only gave us about 22 hours. Let's tell Corey, you need to give us 30 hours this week. Luke, you got to give us 40 hours this week. Carl, you got to step up and give us something. You didn't give us anything last week. And so now we can know, how many hours are we expecting from the technicians? And we look over here, period sold hours. We get 12 extra hours. So we can set our goals anywhere we want them, and the system is gonna kind of point out, where do we need to be in terms of sales. All right. Now we'll get into more of that later. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this goal. This was a weekly goal. It's going to take us back to that dashboard. We go back to the dashboard, and here is our January week 2 goal. Now, you'll notice that these gauges mean nothing. They're saying nothing right now because we haven't input any data. I'm going to go to one that we have some data for, okay, so that you can see this, and then I'll show you where the data comes from. Oops, and that wasn't one that we have any data for. We must have data in here somewhere, right here. Here we go. Look at this. All right. So now we see our gauges climbing, and we can see that based on whatever goals we have set here for the training portal demo, that we've got $34,000 in total gross profit at a 40% margin. We are in the red here. We're not going to hit our goal. Okay, so red, orange, green means, are we on track to hit our goal, our weekly goal, if this were a weekly goal, our monthly goal, if this were a monthly goal, etc. We can see that our sales are crazy, right? We're doing really well in sales, but we're just not where our expenses are too high is what's going on here. We're tracking at 200 ROs, which is in the green. That's good. Our average dollars per RO is 421. That's marginal, not awesome. Look at our effective labor rate. That's a problem. All right. So you can see that this system, based on, let me show you where the numbers come from. This is my favorite way of doing it. We manually input into an Excel spreadsheet that we provide you, and every day you put in your parts sales, you put in number of repair orders, and you put in your parts gross profit in this sheet. Sometimes we can put in parts sales and labor sales, and it'll do the calculations for us. In this sheet, we've got it set up to give us our part sales based on our part, or give us our parts gross profit based on our part sales. And then over here you can see we have the technicians listed. And so for the technicians, every day you input the number of physical hours they worked based on your time clock, the number of sold hours based on your service management system number, and your labor sales dollars. And then the system will calculate or project where you're going to end up at the end of your goal period. So you can see our sold hours per RO are way down. If we want to hit our goal, we're going to have to increase that. Now, we can also drill down on any one of these numbers. This is a demonstration of what our total gross profit is made up of. We've got labor profit, and we've got parts profit, and we've got tires profit in this case. You can see here, tire profit's in the green, doing really well. Parts profit is in the orange, not doing awesome, and labor profit is horrible. Well, let's drill down into labor profit, and the system will now give us a dynamic list. This is based on these specific goals and the numbers that you have input. This is not shops in general. This is your repair shop. This is a dynamic list based on our custom algorithms, our proprietary algorithms, based on your exact numbers that are in the system today, right now. And you can read the description. You're tracking at $16,000 labor gross profit. Your target's $19,000 in labor gross. You need to generate $1,000 per day for the next 12 days to reach your goal. So here's some things that you can do. Let's find one here. Let's urgent. Urgent. Corey's underperformance is significantly impacting your labor gross profit. Let's look at this. So we drill down here, and Corey's labor gross profit is 38%, which is terrible compared to what our target of 57% is. And then you can read this, this is where Corey's tracking, and this just isn't going to cut it. So what do we need Corey to do? Well, here are some ideas that maybe we can use to improve Corey's production. Training. Maybe we need to talk to Corey about the inspection process. Again, inspection process. Let's talk about daily goals for Corey, etc. Okay, so you can see that based on your actual real numbers here, we can identify areas of opportunity. All right, now I want to show you one more really cool thing here. Let's go back to the dashboard, and we'll go back to our weekly goal. As soon as we get caught up here, we're going to go here, and you'll notice down here we have sales units. If we track sales units and we click on this, we can now see, holy smokes, look at the sales units that we are tracking. We've got all kinds of sales units here. And again, these are populated from this spreadsheet. If we go to the maintenance tick sheet, and we can create a custom list for you, but these are all the sales items. So we've got batteries, belts, brake flush, brake maintenance, and all you got to do is check how many that we have sold here, and the system will keep track of this for us. Now, if we're doing all right, and we are here because we have 0 targets, then you'll see the green check marks. Now, notice belts, where our target is 5% of total vehicles to come in, we want to sell belts to, and we've got 2% realized, so we've got a check engine light here. Now, let's click on this, and here are some sales tips. And you can see that if we want to sell more belts, here's a whole list of things that maybe we can be doing, and we can also link to training. So we can drill all the way down to a quick training piece on how do we sell more belts. And you can see my system's a little bit slow right now. I'm actually sitting in a hotel room recording this. So here's a Here's what it links to right now. We'll be changing these links sometime soon, but you can see that here's a discussion on what we're looking for and what we need to talk to the customer about in terms of belts. Now we can also, oops, I didn't mean to go to that one. I meant to go to this one. We can also have training videos in here. Let's go over here and look at brakes. Our brakes is in the red too. So here are some things that we can do to improve the sale of brakes, including some word tracks. We have several options for you to consider. Explain the features and benefits. Which brake service would you like us to perform on your vehicle today? We're asking for the sale here. So you can see that the dashboard is not only a tool to keep you connected to your business and to keep you on track for your weekly, monthly, and yearly goals, but it is also a tool that you can use to improve your service counter selling process. Okay? So, the only other thing that I want to show real quick is when you come over here to the compare shops feature, if you're in say a 20 group or a smart group and you're in there with a number of other shops, we can actually add a number of shops to our list here, and we can compare shop to shop and see how everybody is doing. Oops, I don't want to really create a group right now. We'll do this in another video, but we can actually look at all shops in the group and see whose gross profit is doing really well, see whose gross profit is not doing very well, and you can talk to each other in that group if you have visibility to one another in your 20 group or in your smart group. Okay, so that in 12 minutes is the dashboard virtual coaching tool. Please contact me if you have any questions. And again, we'll drill down into each one of these features as we go through the month of January here in 2020. All right, folks, keep up the great work and never stop learning.